So this video is an interview with lottery winner Nick Rocco, who won $1 million in the Massachusetts State Lottery. I'm actually a Powerball winner, and I was super excited to recently sit down with him.
Are you listening?
So this video is an interview with lottery winner Nick Rocco. My name is Timothy Schultz. I'm also a lottery winner. In 1999, I won the Powerball before going back to college to study film and journalism, and now I'm combining my experience with my interest and desire to meet other lottery winners. And so Nick Rocco is one of the winners that I have interviewed. He won $1 million in the Massachusetts State Lottery, and I was super excited to recently sit down with him. If you're new to my channel, go ahead and hit the subscribe button because I do weekly how-to videos, vlogs, and interviews like this one with other people that I find fascinating, including other lottery winners. But right now, let's get to my interview with lottery winner Nick Rocco. So I'm here with Nick Rocco. Rocco, that's correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. Nick, so you won $1 million on a scratch ticket, is that right?
Yeah, $30 scratch ticket, $1 million winner.
Wow, that's awesome. Congratulations.
Thanks.
So what was the game?
What was the game? What was it? Fast Road to $1 million, I believe it was.
Okay.
Yeah, $30 ticket.
Okay. And yeah, we actually have a picture of that I'm going to pull up here. But I see that you're a Patriots fan.
Yeah, yep. My dad's been a season ticket holder for like 40 years now, so it's hard not to like it when you're from New England.
Yeah. Well, so with this lottery win, so this was this October of 2018?
Yep. Yeah,
Okay.
so almost a year now.
I mean, that's incredible. Like $1 million on a scratch ticket. I mean, that doesn't happen to very many people. How did it feel?
Well, I gamble a lot, so I've never had a win like this. But I scratched it at about 11 o'clock at night. My fiance was sleeping on the couch. The baby just got put to bed, and I woke her up, and I was like, "Look at this thing." I was like, "Is this real?" It said $1 million right on the bottom. It was part of the bonus game, so it was. It said win underneath it, so I didn't have to like verify the numbers or check the numbers or anything. So I knew right away that I was a winner.
Wow. Did you get any sleep that night?
I did go to sleep. I went to work the next morning. I didn't cash it for about a week after that.
Why?
I went to work. I worked Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and then Sunday the lottery's closed. So I went on my day off on Tuesday.
Oh my gosh. And you knew definitively looking at it that was was there any spot in your mind that questioned, is this really real? Or did you know it was just...
No, I knew.
Okay.
And I definitely have luck with gambling. So when Jenna saw it, like, she knew it was real right away. Like, just the luck that I have when it comes to that stuff, it seems to fall my way. So.
Really? What else have you won?
Well, we went on a cruise to Greece and Italy, and we won $10,000 on the cruise. And then just being at the slot machine, there's been nights where we walk away with 10 grand, 5 grand. But we've had some pretty heavy losses too.
Yeah. What do you play mostly when you gamble?
If we go to the casino, I normally play like roulette or the slot machines. But there was a point where I was spending like $200-300 a day on scratch tickets. And, I had a pile like this big of all losers that, you can put against hopefully the big winner one day and it paid off. But
so when you won, so what do you do when you win? So, I won the Powerball in 1999, so I know how that works. But when you win a scratch ticket, like a major prize, like $1 million on a scratch ticket, like, how do you redeem it? You take it into the lottery office and just say,
yeah, so you got to go.
Yeah,
you got to go to the lottery office, and they give you two options. You can either take the full payout, or you can take the payment plan. On the $1 million ticket, it was $50,000 a year, every year for 20 years. That's before tax. So after tax, you end up with like $35,000 every year. Or you can take the full payout, which is $650. And then you get taxed 37% on that, so it ended up being about like $400,000 all said and done after tax on $1 million winner.
Well, that's that's still really, really awesome.
Yeah, you get a big chunk, but
Who wouldn't? Yeah, that's amazing. Congratulations.
thanks.
So how did people react when you told them that you won?
Well, I didn't really tell anybody for the first like 2 weeks, just my like immediate family and stuff, and then my buddy sent me a picture on Instagram from Channel 7. It was like, dude, he's like, you didn't tell me this, and it got out because the Mass Lottery website, they post all the winners, and then the same store that I bought my ticket from, they had sold another $1 million winner 2 weeks later. So then I got like interviewed on the news, and then that's when like a couple months later they reached out to me about my lottery dream home, and then but I mean there were articles written up about me, like, you know, from the town I grew up in to the town I live in now. Almost, you know, I was like a little celebrity in the town I live in now. When my fiance goes out places, that she gets asked all the time, "Oh, were you guys on that show?" And
Is that right?
so we like it. It's nice, but where we live, like we didn't grow up here, so we don't really know anybody around here. But having the kids, it definitely, you know, you start meeting more people. But this helped.
Have you? So what do you think of the 15 minutes of, and it could be more than 15 minutes, but the lottery fame? Because when you win publicly, you know, you do become a quasi celebrity.
Yeah, I mean, I love being in the light. That's just how I've always been. But as I was kind of surprised because not as much as I thought was going to happen. Like as far as, you know, everyone says, oh, everyone comes out of the woodwork and asks you for money, and I got like maybe 2 people on Facebook that I don't even know say, hey, can you buy me a car? But you know, I just ignore that. The Boston Bruins and the Celtics, they reached out to see if you know, if my luck, they want my luck in the Garden, so they want me to buy season tickets. And other than that, though, nobody really hounded me. You know, everyone kind of just left me alone. And you know, I also spent the money in about 3 months of getting it, so it was all pretty much all gone. So nobody really, if people did think like, oh, you know, can I have some money? I'd be like, you know, I don't even have it anymore. So, but no, I enjoy it.
Yeah, and what did you spend the money on?
So, I bought 2 3-family houses in a town nearby where I already own one up there. So now I have 3 multifamilies, and then I bought my single family that I'm in now. For the kids, myself, and fiance. So bought 3 properties and closed on them in about 3 months time span. So it was a lot of paperwork, and I mean it's been stressful over the past year, but now everything's kind of coming together. So it's getting a little easier, you know, as the days go. So
these properties, how would you say that this has changed your life?
So $400,000 is a lot of money, but it's not a lot of money at the same time. You know, I'm 24 years old. I can't retire on $400,000. So if I kept that, I could definitely see how easy it is to spend. You know, you throw a party, you know, we're having a wedding. I could have had $100,000 wedding, and then there's 1/4 of my money right there. You know, so basically now instead of, and then also doing the payment plan, I could have done $35,000 a year for 20 years. But buying these investment properties now, you know, I'm making $85,000 to $90,000 a year for the rest of my life until eventually, you know, 30 years go by. I own these houses. Now I'm making, you know, $20,000 a month for the rest of my life. So, you know, when you weigh out the numbers of what the lottery would give you over 20 years versus now what I can make over 20 years, it's double the prize.
Yeah, no, I see. That's smart. So do you still play the lottery?
Once in a while, yeah. But you know, when you own property, sometimes you can get bad tenants, and I just went through one of them for about 4 months. So, like I said, you know, I'll never regret investing in property, but I think I maybe did it, you know, I wouldn't say too fast, but I sold myself short where I pretty much spent every penny. So when things happen, you know, I'm accumulating the money every month, but it's also being dished out to spend. So right now, you know, everyone's like, oh, you won the lottery. But yet at the same time, you know, you look at the bank account, it doesn't show a lottery winning bank account, you know, and I knew that going into it, that was going to happen. But I'm more of a like looking for the future than I am right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, because technically, if I didn't want to work, I don't have to, but I'm only 24. I don't need I'd be bored at home. So.
Right. Yeah. And, it's very easy to spend money too. I think whether you have like 400,000 or 4 million or 400 million, you can spend that money so easily. It's fun to spend, but then it's gone. So
yeah, exactly.
So I think you're being smart about it. So for the people out there that are watching this that play the lottery, what advice would you give to them?
Keep playing, because if I listened to my fiance when she told me I was crazy coming home with $300 worth of tickets, that night she was taking a nap and I said I'm going to buy scratch tickets. She's like, again? And I came home with $1 million ticket. So now imagine if I stopped playing for whatever reason, I wouldn't be in the situation I am today. Even like winning the $1 million ticket, I think it was 1 in 266 thousandths of a chance to hit it, like 1 in every so many. And
wow.
It's just being at the right place in the right time, and you got to buy them.
Yeah, right.
That's the thing.
Right. Did you think that you would win before you won?
That day, or did I think
or
I
just
would ever
just
hit?
In general, did you think you would ever hit the big one? And that
I've
day,
always pictured myself winning a big jackpot.
Yeah.
But did I realistically think it was going to happen? No. But I've always could see a picture in my head, holding a big check like that. But I think every gambler sees that. You know what I mean? The light at the end of the tunnel. You see that, you holding that big check. But at the time, no, I wouldn't say I thought I would ever win it, just because it's what are the odds? And it's crazy.
Yeah. Well, you're proof that anybody can win.
Yeah. Anything can happen.
Yeah. But you obviously thought that it was possible, or you wouldn't have played.
When I was playing scratch tickets, I was more playing to win $1,000, maybe $5,000. Like when I scratched that and I saw the 1, I instantly thought 100, and then I scratched the rest, and I was just like, no way, like really, to be honest, I was saying to my fiance all the time, look at this person who won this money, they look like somebody who is going to go and spend it all on just, either partying or just, it falls into the wrong hands. And I always used to tell her if I ever won that, first thing I would do was invest. I think I got 2 houses under agreement 2 weeks after I got the money. So the minute I scratched that and I saw 1 million, the first thing I said was, all right, start looking for houses, because that's what you're going to buy.
What do you say to people that are anti-gambling, people that, think that...
I hear it all the time. Oh, I don't gamble because I like my money. Well, I like my money too, but I look at it like this: I'm not the type of person. I have 3 pairs of sweatpants. I'm fine with that. I got 7 shirts. I'm good with that. I don't need all this crazy stuff. I don't need sneakers, and so I look at it as okay, you want to go to a hockey game, right? You want to spend $200 a ticket, and you go with someone else. Now you're at $400, and then you buy an alcohol. You could have an $800, $900 night at a sports game. Yeah, you'll have fun for 2 hours, or you could take that $800 to the casino, have a fun night, and also have the chance to win money. You know what I mean? So it's more of I guess what you like for entertainment. When you gamble, you have a chance to have a fun night for free, or possibly even get paid to have a fun night. You know what I mean? So it's risk reward for me in a way. So.
Yeah, so you weren't, you weren't putting yourself in financial peril, trouble by doing this. You're just having fun and.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think the most I've ever lost in one night, I want to say it was probably $5-6 grand.
Yeah.
It sucks. I mean, it sucks. It's the worst feeling ever. You go home, you got to drive home. It's just the worst feeling ever. But it didn't stop me because that's what I did for fun. Like I said, I don't go shopping for fun. I don't buy things for myself. Where I have the kids, they make sure they have everything, and my fiance as well. And then, but for me, it's I'd be fine with what I have. So.
Right. Do you think this was just mere luck, or do you think it was meant to happen?
I honestly think it was meant to happen.
And why?
Because I mean, I've done a lot in my life at such like a young age. Like I bought my first house when I was 22. My first job, I think I was 10 years old. Like I was a hard worker, and then I adopted my fiance's daughter, and then so that was at the age of 23. I did that. Then I took her on a cruise to Greece and Italy. We got engaged. Everything was going good. Came home from the engagement, and then won the scratch ticket. And it was almost like I did so much leading up to this to help the family and myself that it was kind of like, here you go, and do the right thing with this. And I knew instantly what I was going to do with it. Like I said, the first thing I was going to do was buy the houses. And yeah, I mean, I definitely think it happened for a reason.
So you think it was like karma, sort of?
To what karma of what?
Or, I mean, it was like because you were doing all these other. I'm not putting words in your mouth. I'm just asking.
No. I know.
Because you were doing all these, you adopted this child, and you were doing all these positive things that you had this.
I got
coming
to you.
Is that what you're saying, or no?
Well, no, not karma, but it was almost like you're doing all these good things, and I don't really do much for myself, like I said, and it was kind of like here's a step up in life, almost something given to me, because I've been doing the right thing, and I'm going to continue to do the right thing. You know what I mean? Versus like somebody that just randomly goes into a store and buys a scratch ticket that that they party every night. They don't have responsibilities like that. I find that luck, because it's like, why do you deserve this? If you ask me why I deserve it, I'll tell you why I deserve it, because I have a list of things that I've done, and why I want it and what I'm going to do with it. Versus if you just give it to any Joe Schmo, they call up their buddy. They're like, yo, let's get 30 racks of beer. Let's get the hotels and, all that. Like, I don't think I did one thing for myself besides basically what I did for myself was secure my future. That's what I did.
Okay. What would you say, like, if someone wins the lottery, what's your advice to them?
Depending on how much.
Well, let's say $1 million scratch ticket.
Invest it, buy multifamily homes. I mean, not everybody wants to do that. There's other ways to invest it, stocks and things like that. But I'm the type of person I like instant. So with stocks, you put it in the stock market and you might not be able to cash out for 10 years or 5 years. Versus when I collect month-every rent, I have cash in my hand every month that if I have an emergency in my life, that all that extra money can go to that. But I would say one thing that I kind of wish I went on vacation, like we went to Florida and I took my buddy and stuff with us, but I wish maybe I got I don't know, maybe something a little more for myself, I guess. But other than that, I would say if you're winning $1 million ticket, just invest it. Depending on your age, if you're a young kid, invest it, because you'll only be thanking yourself when you're 45 years old. If you're already 50, 60 years old, you're ready to retire, then live on that. But you may not have to invest it. But my goal is to retire at the age of like 30, 35 years old, because I want to keep accumulating more properties to eventually just run my management company, and then that's it. Work from home, and when people call, they call, and I fix the problem.
Right. Do you think a God or any sort of spiritual connection or anything making like your windfall, do you attribute that to anything like that?
I wouldn't say a God. I would say more maybe like my grandfather or grandmother. My grandfather, he always scratched tickets. For instance, he would never win though. One Christmas I went to the store, I bought three $30 scratch tickets. I gave him and my grandmother 2 of them, and I took 1 of them. I scratched one, I win $1,000. My grandmother scratched one, I think she won 400 on hers, and then my grandfather scratched it, he had 500. And he was in his pants. He's like, I've never won this much. And I was like, oh yeah, look what I won. I was like, oh, you didn't get this one. So he was all mad. But he always scratched tickets, and he passed away on Easter a couple of years ago. And I feel like I've gone to like a couple mediums there, and my grandmother always seems to come in and try to get to me, and my grandfather as well. And I think it would be more them than a God. But something happened for sure.
Yeah, no, that's interesting because I ask different winners that type of question, and a lot of people do believe that type of thing. And like even when I won, before I won, I had this very vivid dream that I was going to win, and so I was convinced that I was going to, and that's why I keep asking about this, because I've found that it happens with other people too. Not necessarily a dream, but just
I mean,
there are
experiences,
times.
There are times I'll be driving, I'm like, I gotta get a ticket. I kind of feel something, but like I might not hit. But there are times where I get that feeling like, oh, you can go buy something. But the weird thing is my dad sent me the next day after I won the scratch ticket.
Uh-huh.
He sent the horoscope for that day. And I'm a Libra, so he sent me my horoscope from the day that I won, and it said there's gonna be 2 planets are gonna be lined up, blah blah blah. Go buy a lottery ticket.
That day he said
I didn't know that. I didn't know that until the next day. After I won, the next day he sent me that for what that day was, and I never follow the signs or anything like that. Like I don't follow the horoscope. And when he sent me that, I was like, that's weird. Like that's just really that's really weird.
Yeah, that's cool. Overall, it sounds like this has been pretty positive. Like you had mostly positive experiences.
Yeah. Definitely positive. I mean, I could see how it could get negative, if you stop buying things. And then I think the biggest thing with lottery winners is when they buy things, they don't realize that there's monthly expenses. So it's like, okay, you buy this house, say I took the $400,000 and I bought a house cash $400,000. Well, guess what? I still have taxes. I still have insurance. I still have water bills. I still have house issues. And now I have no money to support me in that. So that's why I think if you do win big, if the bank's willing to give you money, take it. Because if someone's willing to let you use their money, you keep yours and use theirs. That's how I look at it. Leverage basically as much as possible.
Yeah. Is there anything else you wanted to say?
I will say that when I win my next $1 million scratch ticket, I will treat myself, I think, a little better than I did this time. I will still buy property, but I think I'll take maybe a month vacation or something because it's been stressful.
Yeah, you got to do something. It sounds like you've been really smart with it, though.
I have, but it's like, and that's what I told my fiance too. Was I wasn't gonna let winning this $1 million change my life in the aspect of every day. Like there are some days where I almost live like I'm broke because I don't need it right now. I know when I'm gonna need it, so when I need it, it's there. I'd rather dish it all out to what I need it for the future versus now, 24 years old. As long as everything's paid, the bills are paid, everyone's fed, we have clothes, this and that. We don't live a very glamorous lifestyle. Like you would never know we won $1 million or on the scratch ticket. And that was one thing I wanted to keep was I didn't want to go out and buy all this crazy expensive stuff because at the end of the day, what do you need it for?
Yeah, and I would argue that a lot of that stuff doesn't make you any happier,
No.
to an extent, especially if you don't have anyone to, with stuff, it's like sharing it can make you happy. But there's studies out there that show that when you come across a large amount of money, you're super excited, there's exhilaration, but then once that wears off, most people aren't any happier than they were before.
Yeah.
I don't know. Have you?
No,
I could definitely.
I could see that.
Yeah.
I could definitely see that because they say money can't buy you happiness. I mean, yeah, it can buy things to make you happy, but eventually that gets boring. How many times can you go on a jet ski at the same place at the same time from 24 years old to 70 years old? Like, I'm not going to do that my whole life. It's like,
yeah.
So I definitely think you need to keep it interesting for sure.
Yeah.
That's why I say I want to retire at the age of 30, maybe 35. That's if I get to where I want to be. But it's like, okay, then what am I going to do? I'm going to be bored at home. So it's like,
yeah. I mean, and that's another thing. People, when they retire, it's like, what are you going to, you have to do something with your life to make yourself happy just because you're retired, You could, maybe you just really want to play golf every day or something, but I feel like you need a purpose, a reason to get up
absolutely.
in the morning, So, thank you very, very much, Nick, for your time and for sharing your story. I think what you've done is really smart, and congratulations again. That's awesome, and I definitely wish you the best of luck.
Thank you.
Yeah. So that was my interview with lottery winner Nick Rocco. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you like this video, go ahead and hit the like button. And consider subscribing to my channel if you're new, because I do weekly how-to videos, vlogs, and interviews like this one with other people I find fascinating, including other lottery winners. And let me know in the comments, what would you do if you won the lottery? What would you do if you won $1 million? As always, thank you so much for watching, and thank you for your support.